Welcome to day 28 of Occupy Wall Street. I'm Chelsea Krost, host of the Chelsea Krost Show. Occupy Wall Street, day 28. You guys just got here from Illinois. How does it feel to be students and be here for such an amazing cause?
Honestly, it makes me really proud because my dad worked really, really hard so that I could go to college, and he got laid off, so he had to work nights just so I could go all the way to Illinois from New York. So it's really awesome that everybody's out here. It really brings me a lot of pride.
So you guys are wearing purple headbands, looking really cute, but what do they signify in particular?
It's kind of just like symbolic for the colors of the American flag all blended together, and that we as the American people aren't separated by color. We're kind of unified into one purple shade, I guess.
Now our generation is called the millennials, and how do you think being here today is setting the step forward for our future?
I think it's saying that we're taking control, that I think the generations before us made the mistake of, creating all of this, and we're trying to fix it. We are the people now, and so we're taking control, and we're making the United States what it should be.
So Bill O'Reilly said,
I don't want to talk about Bill O'Reilly.
But he said that hippies need to get a job, shower, and stop protesting. What do you have to say to that?
Tell him to stop popping pills and, get some actual hair, because he's a piece of shit.
And Bill Clinton said that the protesters need to actually focus in on what their goal is in particular. Do you think that there's a unanimous goal out here?
There's a lot of goals. I think we need to concentrate on a certain few. Bill Clinton's right. He's the master of economy. Like, when we were with him, he had shit going in the right direction, and we need to get it back.
I'm here with Ben at Occupy Wall Street of Ben and Jerry's. It's amazing that you're here serving ice cream. Why are you here today?
I can't think of anything I'd rather be doing today. I am incredibly inspired by the Occupy Wall Street movement. I think it's something that's been long overdue. It's wonderful to see a group of people that are committed to shifting the direction that our country is going in.
Realistically, what's something that you think can change from this protest and from this movement?
I think there's a lot of different legislation that can be passed that shifts the tax burden from the 99% to the 1%. I think corporate taxes can be increased, and certainly there is. I think one of the real problems is the ridiculously huge salaries that a lot of CEOs are getting.
And while I'm talking to Ben of Ben & Jerry's, I need to ask your favorite ice cream flavor.
Cherry Garcia.
Thank you so much.
All right. Good to talk.
Now, in your opinion, why do you think people are out here the most?
The most? Well, I think overall everyone's unhappy with something, and so they're here because they think that this is a good forum for them to come and kind of express their frustration with the way that things are going in our country. I think that'd be really cool if basically all the Occupy whatevers, Wall Street, Boston, wherever, if they all met on the mall in Washington, D.C. and had one huge rally so that they could really show how many people really are involved with this movement.
Love that. All right, Maurice, I would like to know how you think Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party have similarities or differences.
I don't think there's any difference. We're pretty much all in the same boat. Except that some of the Tea Party, they're more like Republicans brainwashed, but not everybody, I think, because I just met a lot of people from the Tea Party here, and they support the group, and I think they should get together, and I think they can do something really, really fast to change, what's going on.
Lindsay, you are such a cool teacher bringing your students here to Occupy Wall Street. Why do you think it was so important?
They don't have any idea what is going on in terms of the recession. They understand the back end of it. They understand that things are more expensive and they don't have as much money as they did in the past, and that their parents are struggling a lot, but I don't think there's a lot of knowledge as to why that is happening. So I thought this might be able to connect some of that to them.
As a trader on Wall Street, how do you feel about what's going on here today or for the past 28 days?
I think a lot of what they're saying is right. A lot of people are just here to yell at rich people for being rich, which is probably not right at all. But they do have a very strong point in that the banks run the world and are a huge, huge part of the problem. The one thing they're missing, though, is that the banks run the world because they have friends in government who grant them these favors. And so I think they should be, mad at government almost as much, if not more, as they are mad at the banks. I'm not really part of one of these big banks who gets handouts and is really the kind of people that these people are yelling against. So I wouldn't consider myself necessarily a bad guy.
And for someone working on Wall Street, what are some realistic changes you think can actually come after this movement?
Ending the Federal Reserve by far. That's the number one possible thing that would change everything.
Bloomberg initiated a cleanup this morning. How did that go?
He chickened out.
There was no cleanup.
There was no cleanup because we cleaned it up before he got here.
Cam, you've been out here for 8 days working. Have you been distributing food the whole time?
Yes, and food prep, but mostly just doing the food. I've been in New York since August 27th, and by far I've eaten the best since I've been here than I have the rest of the time I was here. It's amazing. Before we run out of food, we always, we have so much food that we have more than the actual amount of people to serve. So it's a beautiful thing. Everyone's been really opening up their hearts. It's sad that that's all they focus on is the negativity and not the sense of community that we have going on here.
As the day comes to the end, the protesters are far from over. I'm Chelsea Krost on the 28th day of Occupy Wall Street from the Chelsea Krost Show.